Dude, if I played video games, I would.
What?
I should definitely do that video game
LAN
thing you
party.
talked about.
LAN
LAN
parties.
parties.
LAN parties are hard to film because like you have to all like have screen caps and shit. Like it'd be a pain in the ass. Like.
So guys, this is Matt from Airsoft. I'm with Dan and Robbie, and we're doing something a little bit new. Instead of Ask Stamped, we're gonna kind of throw a podcast in to switch up the system and get things flowing a little bit differently.
Hopefully no one sees us. I'm wearing a cutoff because it's like 90 degrees upstairs, so I'm not trying to like
It's pretty hot down
be a
here too.
douchebag. But
My office
yeah,
is pretty warm.
I didn't even know this was happening until like 10 minutes ago. So.
But yeah, this is gonna be something new that we're gonna do every once in a while. Just kind of break up the schedule a little bit and do something a little bit different. So
yeah, podcasting's super sweet, right?
you may be just listening to the audio. You could be watching the video cast if we decide to do that. But yeah, so like enjoy. Always make sure to ask questions because this is just the inaugural one. So if you guys have topics you want to ask us about, we can always talk about them at this, just like Ask Tamp, but just a little bit different. So yeah, first episode we're gonna kind of talk about our community and how we feel like it goes with us and what we think about it, and kind of how it touches into the whole big picture of Airsoft as a whole. So yeah,
we'll see.
I actually like our community. It does. A lot of people say that it's kind of like lulled, which I agree with.
So basically, what's sort of been happening over the past couple of years is since like if you rewind like 5-6 years, we had like a shitload of fields. We had like probably like Connellsville. We probably had 4 or 5. There were 4 or 5 different fields that ran games almost every weekend, like locally.
And there was a lot more private games too.
We didn't even really have
and over
to go
time,
Ohio.
what kind of happened was fields kind of just like the one got a highway put through it, the one landowner, like the one we had a rattlesnake problem with. So all this stuff sort of happened at once, and then everything sort of shifted. Another thing that sort of played into that was the CQB places. There was Steel City, which came first, and then Valhalla and Battlegrounds, which came later. But a lot of people sort of shifted, like especially new guys, shifted towards the indoor stuff because CQB is, it's easier to get into. You don't have to worry about if you go out to a field day for like an open play, you have to worry about like water, and usually the field's not too close. You have to do some hiking. Like CQB stuff's super convenient, especially since there's no planning. You can literally show up, rent whatever you want if you don't have the stuff. There's always facilities there to sort of guide you through the day, and like it's a lot less maintenance intensive for the player as opposed to playing outdoors.
Yeah, it's a lot better for the.
So what happened was a lot of newer players, instead of experiencing outdoor stuff, they sort of just gravitated towards the indoor stuff, which is fine. But now we have sort of a void where like there's nowhere to play outside consistently, which I think honestly for me is real Airsoft. Like playing in the woods, like doing some sort of form of the amount of strategy and movement and stuff it just isn't.
It's a lot more complex. You got to think about a lot more.
There's a lot more strategy outside than inside.
Not saying that like CQB isn't very like tactics oriented, because it is. It's just a different.
It's just how you play overall.
Style, yeah.
Like it's whatever you put into it. Also, there's a massive convenience factor in CQB, as you said. Like most like indoor fields, they have a lot more product readily available rather than outdoor fields that usually is just whatever you bring.
Yeah, that's why I feel like Pittsburgh especially is just the newer player.
Yeah.
Because that's all we have right now is just
another
easy
thing
fields to get to.
Well, there's that, and then there's the group. There's like the national op group. We have a pretty strong for national ops. We have a pretty strong community. Like we have a lot of shop friends and stuff that like go to all these big games together and run together and stuff. So
which is kind of
there's like that group of people,
into.
And they bounce around with the national ops, but there's still like a void where there isn't a whole lot of like reliable, easy to get to, like not totally expensive, smaller ops to go to, which we're trying to fill, but land around here is proving to be kind of a pain in the ass to allocate for that kind of stuff.
That's another thing that's kind of like put a separation in with like the community. Like it seems as if like most of the people who prefer to play night ops don't usually go to like the local games or like the local indoor fields because it's just not their flavor of game.
I'm guilty of that. That's why I think I've moved into that group.
I don't know. As I've played, I've been playing for like fucking like 10 years. I've been working at AMP for like since 2010.
You're probably the person that's played the most industry.
I guess. But like
sure.
I don't know. I've been I've been to like every with the exception of Milsom West, I've been to every other like big caterer or like Black Sheep,
you haven't been to one
before that all.
I haven't been to Milsom West either.
But
any of you haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. Something I've sort of like. The NatOp stuff was cool, but after you go to so many of those, for me, it really boils down to like now at this point, I've been to so many games. Like when I go out and play, like I want to play with my guys. Like I get the enjoyment factor now from playing with my friends and like hanging out. That's like what I go.
Yeah,
to
that's
play
definitely
for.
what it is at this point.
The environments are cool, But as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't mean shit where you're playing if you're not with people that you like. You know,
Yeah.
that's like half the fun of. That's like pretty much all the fun of playing with me is playing with your buddies. You know,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
where it stems from for me.
For
So
sure. I mean, like one thing is one thing to play with a squad or whatever, like your team. But if like for us, for example, whenever we go to Nat Ops and all that stuff, for the most part, we try to stay together.
Yeah.
But there's times where like, trying to think of an example, Oklahoma a couple years ago, we had to split up a little bit.
Oh yeah, you guys
and-
couldn't
Broken
play
home?
together at all.
Yeah, broken home. Yeah, we had to split up.
I went to the
bit.
one, yeah, and that stuff happens. You know, you meet a lot of faces.
Oh,
The
yeah.
nice thing about Nat Ops is you meet a lot of faces. You know, and it's neat, like sort of bringing new people in. But you know, we definitely I think we're gonna definitely try to start making it out to a bigger variety of games. You know, as they
Yeah,
come to us.
we've
Like,
done a really good job this summer of going to local plays. You know,
Yeah.
we've been to smaller fields in Ohio. We've been to plenty of our fields. Like we've been running TRP games, the Graysville field that's
we'll
being
see.
worked on and building.
God.
Um,
see about that.
we've been to Battlegrounds a few times.
Yeah, I went to Battleground.
Yeah, that's it at the moment.
I
But
go there
like,
for Wednesday nights usually for like the
The
18
big
and
boy
up or
nights,
whatever
yeah.
for like
16
and
up, I think it is.
the no minimum engagement and stuff, and I always have a good time. You know, it's
Yeah, it's fun.
somewhere to get. It's nice and it's like 20 minutes from my house. You know, I go down there, play for a couple hours, and go home. You know, it's
yeah,
easy.
it's
so,
super easy. But
right across from the waterfront. So
yeah. So I mean, like once fall reaches around, because summer's usually a pretty lulling, big
yeah,
milsim
just because it's so hot.
area because it's so hot. Like yeah, I went to Ballahack. It was
dude, I bet
115.
It's like a swamp too.
It literally
It was
is a swamp.
115
That's
heat
probably
index.
Horrible.
Heat index, excuse me. And I mean, like, I'm not usually the person to kind of quit or to like want to go do something else, especially if I've paid for the ticket, which I did because I wanted to go to Ballahack on my own time. But yeah, running around with real plates was not a good time. So we went to the beach instead.
It's not so much like the heat per se; it's the humidity there. It's just killer.
Oh yeah, Bauer was dehydrated for the next few
That's
days.
Bauer.
Yeah, that is Bauer, but yeah, I mean, I like there's absolutely nothing wrong with local stuff. I mean, if you use Ballahack as an example, it's one of the best local communities that there is.
I don't know. That's
sure.
yeah,
From an
that's
outsider standpoint, but
yeah,
even
that place
you know
is sort of
Jeremiah and Chris.
beyond local at this point.
Super.
Yeah,
Ballahack's
it's
huge.
legendary.
They have a hell of a place down there.
It's definitely a place you want to go to if you're into this hobby.
Oh yeah.
Something to experience because it's. Excuse me, Christopher Ratton did a really good job with that field.
Alex, scroll down.
He's put his stuff in it.
Didn't Don Shipley help them? Because I know they have a thing
Who's Don
together.
Shipley?
He was a former Navy SEAL.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
Because
is-
I know.
Oh,
'cause
that stuff's old. I know what you're talking about.
Because I know
now.
because he does like he does
Long time ago.
or they do a lot of stuff for him. They built a range for him and all that stuff, which is pretty cool.
I didn't know that. I just know his parents live on the property.
Yeah.
Chris's parents,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean,
Because Don used to actually live not far from Ballahack.
I wish we had a Ballahack.
Yeah,
You know, something
someday,
like it.
man.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully sooner than later. But you
Okay.
know,
What?
Alex is making. Okay, we're gonna pretend like we knew what you said. Anyways,
You need like a little PA system to talk in here.
yeah, you really do.
Um.
Sorry guys, we're talking to
All right.
one of our
Yeah,
managers.
we're not even know this is gonna be an hour like here. All
Um,
right. So now we're gonna. I guess we'll move on.
Yeah, we can move
We're
on.
talking about. All right. So the next topic we have here, something that gets talked about a lot, but like sort of like the topic of.
I love when
like,
Robbie takes the wheel.
pricing. I don't want
Jesus,
to.
take
No one
the
else.
wheel.
Hey, fucking no one else is doing it. So I got.
I mean, you just kind of
How
went
is the
for
high
it.
end
Someone's got
stigma?
to white knuckle it and grab the wheel.
You just went for it, buddy.
You know,
Mr. Big
so-
Dick swinging over here.
I was about to do it, but you went there.
But so the next topic we sort of laid out, something that's talked about a lot is sort of where you fit in as far as gears related. Because obviously airsoft gets expensive. You can come in and you can buy, like a G&G Raider with a nice setup with gloves and mask. You can probably get out the door with everything you need to play for like $300. For like a decent amount. Probably less than that realistically.
probably
but for
get
like,
like
Grand
for like
scheme
a
of
solid
things,
setup for like everything.
honestly, grand scheme of
but-
things, that is an amazing number to be able to get out with.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can come in and drop $1,000 on a sweet gun, and it's just like the amount of money you can. It's just like anything else, any sport. There's always the price range for this stuff is so big. You have people at Nat Ops running, like $500 worth of kit, and you have people at Nat Ops running $10,000 worth of kit with like PBS 15s and the whole nine. So
My biggest
it's
pro-
something that. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I said my biggest problem is like people have this idea that like the more money you throw into it, the better of a player you are. And
which
like,
isn't true.
yeah, it's
not
the farthest
completely
from
not
the
the
truth.
truth.
Obviously, having nice stuff helps you if you're a good player.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
have
not
nice
going to
stuff.
change. Looking cool doesn't change how you play.
Yeah.
I have nice stuff, and I will be the first to tell you that I'm probably the worst person at Airsoft in our office.
Hey, you killed me with a VSR 10 because Brady pussied out.
Well, yeah, but like that doesn't mean that I'm good. I just got the jump on
It
you.
was
Like I'm
sweet.
genuinely
Jumped
not
around
good.
the corner on me with a VSR 10 and just like racked it and shot me like point blank. And I was like confused.
I was shooting.
Oh.
I was shooting around 350.
I know.
Anyways,
I thought it
but
was
like,
sweet. I'm not complaining. I thought
but
it
like,
was cool.
the video of that is hilarious. You guys are just so confused.
We just got
But,
owned because like you came around the corner and Brady's like didn't know what to do.
Brady was just like, "Did you just shoot me?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, bro.
Fucking Brady. But yeah.
But like, I mean, grand scheme of things, it's just you can go out there and have just as much fun, with the Raider in a hoodie with like a cheap chest rig as the person that has all of the kit, the recoil shock and
and
real cry and all
here's-
that.
here's
And there's
usually-
there's absolutely nothing wrong with spending all of that money because I am one of those people that have spent all of that money.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
it's
just
even
like
more.
I just like that aspect of the hobby of,
Yeah,
doing the
that's
whole realism thing and looking cool. and
something that
being
I
dumb.
usually when people ask about this because people come into the store and ask about this stuff all the time. So usually what happens? Did I bump my mic, Alex? I think we're good. But usually, so when someone comes in and asks about that, what I usually tell people to do is, you build your kit off of what you need. So you don't start out with all that stuff. That stuff you buy as you grow as a player and as you sort of develop and like want to look that way. And
Why
do an
why
impression
spend a
kit or
few
whatever.
grand whenever you're not still 100% sure that you're going to stay in this hobby?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a lot of that stuff you grow into. And another thing that happens, like sort of on the reverse side, is like, and this is something that happens all the time. Like if you go to local fields, like the people wearing all the kit, like all the shit, like cry, like whatever, full camo, like they automatically kind of get singled out compared to all the rest of the people who might have not as much stuff as being like better players, and they usually bias teams based off of that, and that's not always true. You have to sort of
they base a lot of that off of like if I show up like fully kitted up, people think that I'm better than I am.
Yeah, which is
that happens to us all the time.
And it's natural for people to do like in any situation like this, like not even just airsoft. Like if you go to like I'm into cars, so I go to a lot of car stuff. So if you go to a track day, like there's people with people with Corvettes like running like 700 800 horsepower on the drag strip, but that doesn't necessarily make them a better driver. They might not set a lap time. They might not set the same quarter mile time as someone that has 100 horsepower less than them is running the same car.
You
with
could
car
say the
stuff,
same
it's
thing
about the
about
driver
anything.
when it comes to racing.
Sports
thing
are
with
the same
airsoft.
way.
Yeah, sports just like anything.
Especially like I found like I played hockey in high school and I still do play hockey in college now. A lot of people will spend like $700 or $800 on skates because they'll last them longer, and people just instantly assume that they're better.
Yeah.
Believe me, as a person that spends does that, I'm not any better than anybody else.
No.
I'm pretty bad, but like I just feel like people have to
I don't know.
understand that it's just aspects of the hobby.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
just doing what you wanna do.
Like as far as like people assume this too. People somehow seem to think that the gear you have relates to like your personality type. Like
Yeah.
it happens. Like I don't recommend this, but like some people if they see someone wearing a ton of kit, night vision, like all that stuff, they're like,
think
oh
you're a
wow.
douche.
They're like, they think you're a dick for whatever reason. Maybe because they're intimidated. I don't know. But it's never smart to do that in any capacity. You should never base someone's personality off of what they look like or what they're wearing ever.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Like that guy that you think's a dick that's running around with PVS 15s might be the nicest guy in the world and might want.
That happens to us all the time, honestly.
literally all the time.
Because a lot of us do the whole.
What's up, Jesse?
Oh, you probably have to reset that one. But yeah, that happens to us all
Is
the
it still
time.
recording?
Especially with like
Well, sound is so. Audio.
because a lot of just. I
That's a
mean,
good-
the amount of people in our community that have the money to spend on all of that is by far outnumbered by the people who don't.
Yeah.
Which again is completely fine, but it just makes, us gear sluts look really bad.
One thing
I
that's
don't think
really
it makes
nice
us
though.
look- I don't know. People.
I don't know. I just feel like people have a negative light on us, and then it goes the other way around too.
Yeah.
Some people get the big head because that kid doesn't have a cry.
Oh yeah, there's
that
always
kid doesn't have a quai.
Well,
Oh
there's
my
like
gosh.
douchebags with anything, and that's like something you're gonna have to deal with, and that like it's like literally half and half. Like obviously like
Gamer.
that doesn't have anything to do with what gear they're wearing. Like if someone's a dick with like a hoodie on, they're gonna be a dick with full camo on.
It's kind of like the same thing between
personality
like
type doesn't change.
it's kind of the same thing between like the Milsimers and like the Speed Softers. For some reason, there's this like a clash between them. Like each of them think that the other is an
Who
asshole
gives
or
a shit?
douchebag.
Do you ever
I would say
just-
it's the
I
same
know,
concept though.
That's stupid.
Have you guys recently just like not given a shit and just been like, I don't feel like dealing with all that kit, and just kind of going back to where you started and just show up as a hoodie warrior?
I don't know. I think
I've done that a couple times. It's really refreshing.
I think the last time I did that was actually the last time I went to Battlegrounds.
It was the last time I went to Battlegrounds too.
Yeah,
it was the last time I did.
last week.
I didn't go last week.
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
went there in
I don't
like
know.
jeans. I wore my play gear because it's like I have nothing else. But I have
It's useful.
jeans, no like BDUs or anything. I had my hat on and glasses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Last time I
and
did
my
it,
gun.
high cap, and just my gun.
I mean,
Nice.
yeah, all the gear and shit. I don't feel like I play any worse without my gear. It
Yeah.
definitely. It's nice to have like the capacity to hold.
Oh yeah,
shit, but,
I'm
like,
just as shitty.
Yeah, we're all just as butt. Without our.
One thing that
shit
is
on.
nice about like it's kind of funny. Like just a few moments ago before this, I was watching the old operator videos, and so
My
I saw
favorite one is Mario's
I-
and Biggs.
Yes, I saw mine when I was rocking all Condor, like the green MOPC, like all
Yes.
fly and everything. I was
fly,
like,
fly days were the best.
oh my gosh,
I think I'm
yes.
gonna do a budget.
1000 D.
operator.
And
Or,
that would be like the epitome of budget gears right there. But the only thing not budget that I had
Bullet
was
ant goggles.
yes, my bullet ant goggles. That's what I was rocking on them
fucking
too.
Those
bullet
are
ants.
funny.
Oh my
Looked
god.
like Willy Wonka in
Like,
those
You look
things.
so ridiculous.
bullet ants were.
Oh my god,
ridiculous.
I love them.
But, like,
though. They
it-
were so comfortable.
It worked though.
Yes.
It did what it was supposed to do.
But like at the time, like at that point, I was still new to the game for the most part, and like whenever I shot somebody that I was rock and cry and all that stuff, I had this satisfaction. It was so good. It's like
it is very satisfying.
it's
It's,
so
also
good.
very satisfying to like show up and look like a scrub and then burn the people
own,
that
just
don't.
own. It's great.
Uh.
Always good.
Oh man, airsoft, such a nerdy sport.
We're all nerds.
There's
yes.
still nothing wrong with it. Do you guys have like a favorite like place to play and like game style and whatnot? I know we touched on that a little bit, like
Yeah, I thought
field
we
wise,
talked
but
about that already. I don't know. For like,
I don't know, game wise.
I mean, it depends. I don't know. A lot of the stuff like we do, like I don't know. I have a little group of guys I've been playing with for a few years, and
Pretty.
like we do like smaller games. Like we'll have like 10 people, and we have like someone will have property that they host on. We'll
Yeah,
go, we'll
I
go
go to
play there,
those as
but
well.
it'll literally be like 10 of us, and we'll nothing organized about it. We'll all get there, hang out for a little bit, shoot the shit, or get a little like small game type together, like search and destroy or something small.
Yeah, we have a
Run a
couple
half an
groups
hour
like
game,
that.
then bullshit more. So that stuff's cool. As far as like bigger stuff, I mean, the bigger games are fun too. I mean, as far as like what's ideal, I don't really have a preference for that kind of stuff.
I honestly think it
I'll have
comes
as much
down
fun.
to-
I'll have as much fun with 10 people as I do with 200.
I
Yeah,
feel like it just comes down to who you're going with and who you're playing
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, Robbie, I know you've been to some of those games, but we're not gonna mention them because they don't want to be mentioned. But, I mean, they're fun. It literally just takes the sport like back to the spobby, back to like its basics, like just shooting
Back in
in the
the day.
backyard with your friends, just talking about whatever. We're just gonna wrap it up, guys. We've been talking for a little bit, so hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any comments or anything you guys want to talk about, just make sure to comment down below. Shoot us messages on Facebook, anything like that. And yeah, definitely do all that. We want your input on this sort of thing. Also, since we talked about local community, we're gonna mention a few other things here. So Kurt, he wanted me to remind you guys that we're having a swap meet on August 26th. 26th. Yeah, 26th.
Yeah.
So if you're in the local area, make sure to stop by. We're gonna have all of the stuff that we had at the other one. So we're gonna have industry vendors, we're going to be doing raffles and whatnot, and of course the giant warehouse sale as well. So they're always a really good time, and if you want to sell some of your stuff that's just laying around, it's just a small fee, and you guys can sell plenty of stuff.
We'll just say it's $10 a table, so you pay $10 and you sell whatever you want, or get admissions free. So I don't want people to think that.
Oh yeah, you don't have to pay to get in if you just want to come in, hang out. It's totally your prerogative. You don't have to pay for that.
So the last ones have been pretty successful. We had a load of people.
Oh
come,
yeah, we had so many people at the last.
This one should be pretty lit. So
lit,
stop
my
on
guy.
by,
Fam.
I guess.
Speaking of being lit, we also have our fire sale still going on. So if you are interested, make sure to email deals@ampedairsoft, and we'll send you the list of what's on sale. So yeah, you can get all your stuff. You can be a meme lord and have fun. All right, guys. So this has been Matt. You guys can
And
introduce.
this is Daniel.
You gonna not say anything?
This is Robbie, I guess. I don't know. Like,
All right. Well,
It's that
we're
guy.
gonna restart that.
the fuck.
All right, guys. So this has been Matt. I've been here with Dan and Robbie with the first podcast from the Asking Couch. Yeah, we're on a couch. It's pretty
You can
great.
sign up for the
It's
Asking
pretty
Couch.
Please.
Email us and we will send you a form on how to get on Asking Couch and make you a star.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Don't actually email us about that.
Don't do it.
No, don't
Jesse,
do that.
Jesse's like literally like motherfucking me through the screen. So we don't need more emails like that.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye.